Everything's fine.
Can you hear yourself okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I just want to make it.
Mic check, mic check. What is this, episode number 17?
18.
Man, I think you're going by twos. I don't think we're up to the 18.
It's 18.
Yes, sir.
Is it 18?
18, yes.
I'm going to scoot you a little closer.
Okay.
We're going to share an ashtray. Today on the show on Unrolled, the worst cigar podcast on the internet, we have the world famous Leo Stone.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. My name is Mike, and this is Chuck that's already lighting a cigar. And we are going to talk about, hopefully, everything under the sun except for slap at the Oscars, because who cares?
Yeah, I'm already tired of hearing
You
that.
don't want to talk about that?
I really don't.
You just brung it up, though.
Well, I just said we're going to talk everything about that, and you're going to
But
carry
you just
it on.
brung it up.
V-cut or straight cut, Leo?
V-cut.
V-cut?
Now, do
See
you
you,
think that it was a fake slap? Because that's what it looked like to me.
Well, we're talking about it any damn way.
That's
All
right.
right, here we go.
Sorry about
At
that.
first, I thought it was a fake slap, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. Them freeze frames tell a different story.
What story do they tell?
They tell it that hurt. Somebody look on his face that hurt.
Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, he was laughing all the way up there, and then...
Well, yeah, but when you're going to smack the shit out of somebody, you laugh all the way up there.
I always get excited right before I think I'm going to fight.
Right.
And then I get really sad whenever there isn't a fight. I'm going to try a new mic stand over here. Up in the air a little bit.
Funny looking.
It is funny looking.
Okay.
I feel like somebody's got a gun in my head right now.
Right.
Wow. But yeah, I didn't watch it live. I watched it on
No, you're
YouTube.
good. Don't have to lean in.
And it was just like, I don't know. And then he apologized. And then people are talking about, should we take his Oscar away, blah, 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 It's
I like how he slaps the shit out of Chris Rock, and the next day the news is like, Bradley Cooper and Denzel Washington console Will Smith. Wait a minute.
on KC this morning, they were talking about somebody offered him and Chris Rock $30 million to get in a ring and box.
Yes.
So I could see them doing that.
They need to bring Celebrity Deathmatch back anyway on MTV.
Oh, man, that was such a great show.
Oh, it was awesome.
But Will Smith started the movie Ali and probably had some boxing.
And that's what U-Man said. He said, well, Chris Rock probably would not stand a chance because Will Smith played Ali in the movie.
Yeah, but maybe he can tell enough jokes to get himself out of a boxing ring.
Yeah, he might. But I figured they'll probably do it. That's $15 million in each other's pocket,
Nah,
so
it'll all go to charity.
No,
It should go to like battered comedians or some shit,
Them guys though, because I watched. I don't know if you know this, Leo, but I used to host a wrestling show.
No,
And
awesome.
I didn't host it. I gave them a building to destroy.
What was
and
it?
Because they were absolutely disrespectful.
Was it wrestling at the Chase? No, it was
Was that up
wrestling.
in Bethalto?
It was wrestling at Cottage Hills.
Wrestling at the Trap.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that,
Yeah,
I
Cottage
remember
Hills wrestling at
years ago watching that backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
And
them,
those
probably.
guys,
Where were they at?
I don't remember. I watched so much, I worked security
okay.
jobs where, you're out I worked at Holiday Shores.
Right.
And you're out there in nowhere and you're busy, you want to be busy, so you're looking at your phone and watching just all kinds of different
Right.
stuff.
How that ties in is those guys, some of them have taken lessons to learn how to wrestle. And they learn. I watched two of them fight one time, and they were pulling their punches the whole time. Like there was nothing behind the punch because they've been so muscle memory, so long not actually punching somebody.
Oh, they were in a real fight.
Yeah, no, they were in a real fight.
They were in a real fight
out in the parking
and
lot.
they couldn't hurt each other.
But basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Damn it.
Years ago, I used to go to the wrestling at the Chase, because you got the tickets given to you because they wanted audiences. And there was three sides of chairs, and then the announcer side. And after each segment, they would have everybody move around, if you would, so it looked like a different crowd. And you could hear them talking like we are, only a little lower. It's like, okay,
Right.
I'm going to put you into the corner, And
yeah.
they would
the
talk.
wrestlers.
They would talk, afterward and say, be sure you slap your chest when you look like you're swinging, and that
Right.
makes that sound. Or it's like, I know they're.
You're hurting my feelings, Leo. Are you telling me that wasn't real?
They weren't slapping their chest, but they weren't hitting each other.
Yeah.
I mean, they were making contact, but you could just tell that it wasn't.
It was all that muscle memory of pulling back. That's
Right.
fun.
All that muscle memory of stopping before they actually hit them.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't ever thought about that.
I mean,
Yeah, because they're
saying steroids. I mean, I'm sure if the Macho Man back in his heyday punched you in the face, I'm sure it hurt.
yeah.
All the roids and stuff. But
Standing.
these guys can't afford steroids, so the anger's just not there.
King Kong Brody was over there one time, and he was a monster. Talked to Andre the Giant, and his hand, even as big as I was, could cover my face. It's like, holy
Oh
Toledo.
yeah, they were big dudes. Him and Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
That Brody guy, he was from St. Louis, right?
I don't know.
He,
St. Louis
according,
area?
the St. Louis area, because there was a security officer that watched the building and everything, and he would spar with him. And that, according to him, I
Right.
wasn't there, so
Sure.
you got to believe it. And but it was cool, to listen to him talking about what they do outside, and it just, But Brody was a cool dude, and then when he got killed, it's like, wow.
Our R.I.P. Scott Hall. While we're on the subject,
Yeah.
Razor Ramon. That was the era of wrestling I watched.
I see. I didn't. I watched the cartoon one. No, do you remember the cartoon one?
Yeah,
The
but I didn't
WWF.
care a whole lot for Razor Ramon's character. I liked him when he was with Kevin Nash, and he would come out toothpick in his mouth, and
That was his. Yeah, that was the Razor Ramon character.
Yeah, but
they
then
were
he-
the outsiders.
yeah, and he'd go, "Hey yo," and then he would take his toothpick out and flip it into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah, and then of course,
Can you do that nowadays, or would you get sued for assault with a pointy object?
Right.
Right.
probably get sued. It's like, oh no, he almost.
But
put
that was the outsiders NWO days on WCW.
Oh, yeah,
that
loved
was
it.
the best. That was the best.
my-
They had the best characters, man. Scott Hall, or Steiner,
Steiner.
uh,
The
Big
Steiner
Papa Pump.
brothers. Yeah.
Big Papa Pump, and Buff Bag. They had the best characters. That's all
My-
there was to it. I mean, it's all a show.
Favorite wrestler that I really liked, because I grew up watching wrestling chase, was Johnny Valentine, and then Greg, his son. But Junkyard Dog, I loved his persona and all that, and him and the Fabulous Freebirds with their matches, and it was just
Right.
like I'm old, I'm 63, so I go back way. Like Randy Orton, his dad was Cowboy Bob Orton from
Yep.
St. Louis. Rocky Johnson, The Rock, his was Rocky Johnson
Huh.
from St. Louis. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I met a guy who wrestled at the Chase. He came into the shop a lot. He's a big gun buyer whenever we had the pawn shop open. And he wrestled under Ox, I believe, or at least that's what he went by. And he wrestled for a long time, and it really took a toll on him, like his body.
I don't think I ever actually met that dude.
That dude was super cool. He's still around, but he doesn't get out at all now. So like that, he's probably 65 to 68, something like that. He would have been a little bit older than you.
Well, the night that I did my live podcast for Smoking That 8x80 Lunatic Cigar,
Right.
Greg Jones from Jerseyville.
Yeah.
I never knew this, but he was a professional wrestler. He wrestled with a mask.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And he would wrestle in St. Louis and all over, and then, of course, his health got bad, and then he, but
Those guys, they really
they take a toll on their body.
they do. They do. I mean, because they are. I think they're really overworked. I got it. I watched the some of the business on it, man. I mean, it's just show after show after show. It's like when Tyson was punching in his prime. That guy got no break. Don King worked him, but if it wasn't for Don King having to
wouldn't.
knock somebody out every single month,
Yes.
then he wouldn't be who he was. So
Exactly.
some of
It's a-
these wrestlers, they really, they really went. They worked themselves almost to death. I mean, their bodies are all broke down. So
What are you smoking? What are you guys smoking?
This is a Lars Teton's.
that one is the.
Can't read the small print. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I forgot.
I'm old.
I'm a good. good cigar salesperson. Lars has a lot of advertising going on.
Why did you take that out of his hand when you've got one just like it in your hand?
Well, I have a different one. I have the SS. I know what I have. I forgot what.
But Lars, he does. I don't know whether you watched it or not, but he does podcasts and everything. And Mike and Lars actually know each other from
Way back
20 plus some years ago, and I didn't know it, but I became disabled a couple of years ago, and I sat around because of my feet, and I started watching cigar podcasts. The first one I saw was the Bakersfield Gentleman out of California, and they would have drawings, and you comment, which, as you guys know, comment a lot, but that's all I got to do. It's tough to get out, and because sometimes my feet aren't there, and I would listen to them, and then I met several cigar people all over the world. Jose Blanco, Carlito Fuente, just by talking to them. I don't personally know them, but Melanie Cisco, the Cisco kid, she's a big rep for the Fuente family.
Yep.
And I can't really afford their high dollar cigars, but I have won some by listening, commenting, sharing, and all that, and
we've got cheap Fuentes in the humidor.
Do you? Awesome.
Yep, we're getting ready to get some higher end Fuentes here soon.
The Brevas are really, really good cigars for.
They're
We cut one up last week. Week before last.
Week before.
Week before.
Yeah. Last week we did the Revenant. And
You did
that's
yeah.
a Revenant. Yeah. I always want to throw an L in there. That's such a good cigar. This
week.
This week's going to be the AJ Fernandez Last Call Maduro. The size is AJ's got some funny sizes, and I love ordering them because I always purposely say them incorrectly. This is the Genitales or something like that. So I always, when I order it,
Genitalia?
I always call it the
Genitalia.
Genitalias. Yep. I need a box of Genitalias Maduro. I need a box of Genitalias with the Habano wrapper. AJ, the Last Call is one of my top cigars in the shop.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not in love with anything in there right now. I'm just.
Yeah, you said you're kind of burnt out a little bit.
Yeah,
you take a week off.
Gone.
Yeah.
And see, I mean,
It's hard to take a week off, especially now.
All right. Hey, Leo, you ever get tired of cigars?
no, the only time I did not smoke is back in December when I caught that wonderful COVID. And I didn't want to waste them because, I had no flavor taste or anything like that. But I started smoking when I was 15, thanks to my grandpa. And back then, we had White Owls that you got at the gas station or something like that.
So you started smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I was smoking Cowboy Killers at 15.
Yeah, I tried a cigarette, but it's like, okay. But it was the feel in your hand, you got a tiny cigarette in your hand as opposed to a cigar. And
That's what she said.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Like the BC, anybody smoked that yet?
The BBC.
BBC, yeah.
No, I think it went to Steve.
Yeah, Steve probably smoked it.
Yeah,
already.
Steve likes telling a lot of dick stories.
When,
so
when,
we
he,
thought,
when he comes in, I'll ask him how he enjoyed that BBC.
Yeah.
yeah. So how many cigars do you smoke a day, Leo?
If I've got them, which I got some now in the humidor that was gifted to me, I can go through 3 a day.
Okay.
And I can get out of bed, grab me a sweet tea or a Pepsi out of the fridge, and smoke a Maduro because I just, I love them,
Right.
I'm not going to say, ooh, I don't like Connecticut's, I don't like, because I like them all.
Right.
Because, it's just
You've gotten
cigars are cigars.
You've gotten some like first releases from some of these boutique guys too, haven't you?
Yes, Bakersfield Gentleman, their first cigar that they released was called the Pariah Noir, and it was a Maduro leaf, and then the Pariah Rush was more of the Connecticut style leaves, and of course I leaned towards the Maduro one, the Noir, and my friend Gustavo Placeres from GFP Cigars. He's just a person that started a company, and had people sending him cigars, and then he would sell them online and stuff like that, and his 1 year anniversary was just up, and he'd sent me one, 2 or 3 to smoke, and it was a good cigar and no band on them or anything like that,
Right. So what's been? You don't have to say the name. Have you had a cigar that you couldn't finish? That was gross.
Honestly, no.
Really?
I was listening to a podcast the other night and somebody was talking about it, and it's like they were calling it a piece of shit and pardon me, I hope I can say that
yeah,
word.
you're fine. We quit caring.
Okay.
Well,
But-
we still try not to say the F word.
Well, yeah, I try not to either unless I'm out in a fight or something, but I don't do that anymore. But they were bad-mouthing the cigar and all that, and I wanted to comment, which I didn't, but, well, you chose that cigar to smoke. If you don't like it, lay it down, let it go out. But he was talking about smashing it, and all that, and it's like, I can't remember who it was, but, to each their own.
Well, what if it's a bad cigar? It's a bad cigar.
Yeah, I had one the other day that I threw in the fire pit halfway.
I've had some that have turned on me
Yeah.
right after lighting them.
I had-
and,
yeah,
and
right
I've
after
not finished
lighting.
them.
Yeah.
But I've smoked the same one later and they were fine.
Yeah, and I mean these cigars are hand rolled, so you can get a cigar that's going to be fantastic one day and just not be your cup of tea the next. But man, I had a cigar from someone local that I just could not get through. I couldn't get through.
Mark and his quality control.
No, it wasn't Mark's. It was Scott's, but it was just some free roll, and it was probably. So I put it down. I went back. I came back to it the next day, and then I ended up just tossing the fire pit. That blend didn't set well with me for 2 days straight, so I threw it in the fire pit, and I was because then I'm even more mad because if it doesn't draw right or if it's like that one. That was the first one probably that I can ever remember that I just did not like the taste of it.
Too tight of a draw or too loose?
No, that one, the roll was fine. The draw was fine. It was, man, the taste was just, it was so bitter in my mouth. I don't know what it was.
I've had that happen. I've had that happen with these Hoyos.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen with the punches. The punches are bad for it. I've had that happen a couple times with those punches.
So, and this wasn't one of Scott's like flagship cigars that like we carry and sell. This was just something he was messing around with, and that blend did not set well with me. And I threw it in the fire pit, and Ginger looks at me. She goes, I came in. I was like, that cigar was terrible. She goes, I've never heard you say that. And I go, you know what? I don't think I ever have. That was the first time that I couldn't finish the cigar, and it just. For 2 days, so it wasn't like the food I was eating or drinking or whatever. It was just that cigar, and my taste buds didn't connect that day.
I always wondered if it was me because I constantly knock the ash off, so I'm constantly not letting it burn right.
No, I don't think that affects it too much, man. I've done both. It doesn't. I don't think. Do you ever notice a taste difference, Leo?
Not really. I mean, I smoke a cigar. I got a cigar stick because I smoke it as far as I can get it, even with the cigar stick. But here lately, I can't really taste like people say the leather taste or the woody taste, and it's just.
So you're normal.
I'm normal.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I watch those podcasts and that's got cherry and cocoa and there's some. Earth,
This cigar was rolled on a Tuesday. I can taste it.
It's just
shut the hell up. So, there's a few cigars that you can really get something out of.
Most I've ever gotten out of a cigar is a spiciness. That's it. Like a pepper.
Like the pepper on the tongue.
on Maduros is a peppery taste. And
Yeah,
that's what
most I've
some
ever
and some
gotten.
Maduros, not all of them.
Yeah.
And so the peacemakers, the smaller the ring size, the more of that tongue tingle you get. But it also depends on how fast you're smoking that cigar.
Right.
So if you smoke it faster, it's going to burn your tongue
Right.
and give you that tongue tingle that you're getting, that peppery tongue tingle. But if you're taking your time on it, like if you make a bullet stretch out an hour and a half, you're probably not going to get that, because your cadence is slow. So, but it's, a lot of people like that pepper, and it's a nice selling point is, this you're going to taste, this you're going to have something on your tongue. You're going to, it's not just some tobacco rolled up. it's going to give you a little something, something.
What kind of sweet tea do you drink, Leo? I'm tired of hearing about cigars.
Yeah.
We don't talk about cigars on this
well,
podcast. Do you not watch this podcast?
Yes, I do. And that's what I was just getting ready to say when you said it, Chuck, is like, I'm making this actually we're talking more about cigars than I've seen.
Where's Mark? Hey, Mark, get in here.
Right.
Yeah, we need the cigar nerd Mark Murray in here.
What kind of sweet tea do you drink?
My wife, she makes, I call it Southern sweet tea.
Okay.
So
you
a gallon of sugar to a pint of. But I love it sweet. My doctor, he's not real happy about it, but with me, losing the 12 pounds in 6 months, because I have to go every 6 months because I'm old.
It's 90% water.
Yeah, and that's what I told him. He said, "Are you taking in a lot of water a day?" I said, "Yes." And of course, my wife, was there with me, and she said, and I said, "Well, there's water in tea, and there's water in coffee and soda."
Right.
So yes, I'm taking in water. And he said, "Well, whatever you're doing is working because I'm happy that you lost 12 pounds in 6 months." He said, "At 2 pounds a month, I'm good with it."
Nice.
But I love hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
Right.
Most people go to a restaurant and they want a steak. I want to know how well you can cook a burger for me.
Right.
I grew up with my dad making burgers, and they would still be a little pink.
Right.
I want it to be juicy, not bloody, but juicy.
Right.
Most people like their hamburgers hockey pucks, and it's like, no, I don't like that.
I don't like them pink, but I don't like them like hockey pucks.
And I'll ask, how well can you do? Can you do a medium, cooked medium? I went to a place up in Grafton who's no longer in business there. I was riding my motorcycle, a bunch of us stopped up there, and I asked for a burger, and I said, "Can I get it medium rare?" "No, we can't cook it that way." I said, "But that's how I want it."
Right.
And I said, "I'll sign a ticket that I won't sue you if I get sick." I had to actually sign the ticket, and they kept it, and it was above where the Subway was in Grafton there for a long time. So
Was there a Subway in Grafton?
There was.
Oh, so a sandwich.
Subway, yeah.
I don't know why I went there.
Yeah.
My brain went straight there.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
Just
Wait a minute, what?
Just the L train.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
I didn't know there was a Subway in Grafton.
it was on that, I can't think of the name of the building, but it had the lower level where there's craft shops and stuff like that. And then it was you had to walk up the stairs, and it was up there for a while.
I'll be darned.
But that was back in the 80s and late 90s and stuff like that. I've rode motorcycles most of my life, Hondas, Kawasaki's. Never owned a Suzuki. I rode one, but I never owned it, and Harleys. And I'm not a biker that, if you're not on Harley, you're not on shit, two wheels.
I wouldn't own a Harley.
Two wheels, wind in your hair, I don't care.
I'm a Honda guy.
It hurt me last year when I finally had to sell my 2003 Harley Davidson Anniversary Edition, and 200 of them was painted in the bike scheme that I had. Mine was on the tank was 63 of 200. And because of my feet, I could still ride, but I was scared that if I went to stop and my feet wouldn't be there, I'd drop, So one of these days, I want to get a trike because I still want the wind in my hair. So
There you go.
It's wind therapy.
You don't have no hair, Leo?
Well, if I keep getting this longer, I can be like some of them bikers and it's split down the middle, which it does anyhow, so.
Right.
But
Just get a convertible.
I drink Milos, and I drink, I don't know,
Gallon a
at
day.
least 2 gallons up here every week. Mm-hmm. So
Sweet
of
tea,
Milo
yeah.
You drink
sweet
a
tea.
lot of sweet tea, man.
And I drank a bottle of water probably for the first time in a month Sunday, and I ended up with a headache. So
Stay away from that water.
Caffeine.
Do you know the
Caffeine.
well, that's what I
The lack of caffeine.
I kind of thought it might have been a little bit of caffeine. Well, it's my sinuses, but I kind of thought it might have been a little bit of caffeine withdrawal mixed in there because
Do you know
I got bad sinuses.
100% of the people that only drink water die?
That's right.
No, I didn't know that, but I
Yes.
mean, I'm
100% of the people that
100%.
only drink water die.
But my doctor asked me. She goes, "Well, do you drink a lot of water? Do you this? Do you that?" Because that was a couple years ago. I went in and got a full. Hadn't been to the doctor in years, so they did the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Well, sweet tea's 90% water." And she laughs at me and she goes, "It's not, but you're not dehydrated, so I'm not gonna say nothing."
Yep. Yeah, all my blood work was good and everything, so I'm, knock on wood, happy about it,
Right.
So
How's the Stone Castle going?
It's a work in progress. I keep getting people giving me signs and everything,
Nice.
to hang up, and I just got to move some stuff, hang them up, but I got to wait on my father-in-law to come over and do that.
Right. Did you get the new bar top in?
It's laying on it, but we got to bolt it together and then put the L brackets underneath of it so it's solid, and then we're going to polyurethane it so it'll look shiny like this, so when you set something on it, it's not going to stain it and all
Right,
that.
right.
Because I got it at Lowe's. It's just a 4x4 pine board. They use them for butcher block tables and stuff, according to the thing on the
Right,
paper. So,
right.
but me being, Tim Taylor of, the carpentry industry, I measured the bar. Where the bar is 8 foot 3 inches long. So I go out there. My wife finds them and everything, and she said, "Oh, look at this here." So she took pictures of it, and I said, "That'd work perfect." We'll do the math. 4 and 4 is only 8.
Right.
So I'm 3 inches short.
Man.
So it's an inch and a half on each end.
I've been 3 inches short of my whole life.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured I'm going to try to put some kind of a board on the ends, and then go to Kane's waterbed and see if I can get some waterbed paddings to cover it, because, like I said, I'm Tim Taylor. I can't figure any of that stuff out. So,
Right.
and then have a padded bar rail there. So,
Nice.
it's not like it's going to be a drunken bar
Right.
fight or anything. So, but I enjoy going out there when I can. I mean, there's some days just sitting out there. Of course, here again, the bar, according to, if you look up the bar dimensions and all that, it's only supposed to be to the top 42 inches. Mine's almost 44. So normal bar stools, you're having to lean up. Mike knows, he's been there, I mean,
Right.
so. But it's fun, and, it's a place to come and hang out. And
Yeah.
I used to, just call it the man cave, and then everybody says, "Well, why don't you call it your castle and put your name in front of it?" I said, "Cool, Stone Castle."
There you go.
So my niece made me a little sign for inside to hang on the wall, and then made me one that I'm going to put on the outside of the garage. And, it's just something,
Pretty cool setup.
I enjoy it. It used to be a garage. I posted a picture on Facebook and of before, when my Harley was sitting in there, and I had a little patio bar that somebody was throwing away out at Holiday Shores, and I had it in there, and it was nice. But I wanted more. If you had more people to sit and watch sports and stuff like that, because I'm a big sports nut. And
Did you watch the preseason game yesterday?
no, I had my doctor's appointment, and I totally forgot about it. And then I knew that the Blues was on last night, and I watched that game, and they won. So I'm a diehard Steeler and Pirates fan.
You know, I was one last night.
Who?
Chicago Blackhawks.
Did they?
Did they? Oh, I didn't know that.
How are they doing this season?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the season till playoff time.
All right. Yep. We watched the game. I took a picture, posted on Facebook, and Instagram. That was right when Pujols was walking out, and it looked pretty cool.
Pujols.
Like everybody was anti-baseball in St. Louis until Pujols come back, and then everybody's back on it.
That's why St. Louis has the worst fans in sports.
Well, it's fair weather, bud.
That's
So,
exactly. They're
right.
the worst fans in sports.
And the whole thing is, the reason St. Louis didn't like him is because he told them it wasn't about the money. Well, we all know it's about money. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody offers you $10 million to go.
Right. You pay me $10 million for a season, I'll tell you it ain't about the money you
You
do.
bet. Exactly.
As I'm
And-
swimming in it.
Right.
He did some good things while he was in St. Louis, and I'm glad that he'll probably come and retire with the Cardinals.
And that's really all it is.
I mean,
Yeah, and then they're priming him for coaching.
Do the
So-
Scrooge McDuck swan dive into it.
Right.
It ain't about the money.
Yeah, no, he's going to be designated hitter. We got a good first
because
baseman.
the National League decided to have a designated hitter now, like the American League.
Right.
And
I was hoping he'd go up to bat yesterday, but he just got off the plane. He, got in and just kind of walked into the game like, so
they-
say, sorry I'm late, like he was walking into a class late.
And they said that according to the news, I didn't get on the first part of the game, but he did get a round of applause
Oh,
when
yeah.
he walked in and all
yeah.
that. And,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know whether you all know Billy Hurst. He has
No, I
Record
don't know.
shop.
I don't know anything about St. Louis sports.
well, no, this here's
I can tell you a little bit about Blues hockey. Who's
Yeah.
been on the team on Blues hockey?
Billy Hurst is a local guy that plays music and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
He sings rock, he sings country and all that. Well, he opened a record shop up by Mr. Donuts on Homer Adams Parkway.
Yeah, Riverbend Records.
Yeah, Riverbend Records.
Right.
And Billy goes down during spring training and he photographs the Cardinals and stuff like that. So he's got some cool pictures that he shows and everything. But he's a good dude, and whenever the pandemic was going on, he would get on a Friday night and play music for 2 hours. You know, and people would type in, you know, and send stars, and then he would play the song that you wanted, you know, and he could play any genre, you know. I mean, he's very good at it.
I wish I'd known. I'd been screaming for like some Ice Cube or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Play some Slayer.
Play some Skinner.
That's what I tell everybody when they play.
Definitely
when they
Skinner.
play guitar, I'm like, play some Slayer.
Yeah, I always scream play Tupac whenever I go see some local band at a biker bar. I'm like, play Tupac, and they're like, what? Like,
Okay.
Get out.
Speaking of music, did you all watch the Super Bowl halftime show?
I was forced to watch it.
I saw it
I
afterwards.
was not interested in watching it, but I was forced to watch it.
I really
Terrible.
I liked it. It was, you know, I like some of the music, you know, but
Terrible.
down in front of all the houses, all them Chevys, you know, I think they were
yeah.
fif-
60s.
60s, 61, 62.
Well, there was all kinds of them.
No, there was
it was
they
awesome.
they were in chronological order. They
Oh,
were
were they?
61, 62, 63, 60. I don't remember how many there
I think
were.
there was 4 or 5 houses. I can't remember. But that would scare me to be jumping on them.
Well, they were reinforced.
Oh, were they?
So
Were
the
they-
car club that those cars belonged to, I'm not going to mention the name because I forgot it for one, and for two because I'm not going to. Even if I remembered it, I wouldn't. They were catching a lot of, you know, how could you let them do that on your? They were prop hoods. They were bought from. I actually know the guy they bought them from. And then they were reinforced, and then they were crappily painted to match the cars.
Oh,
They didn't even match.
So they
the
didn't
cars.
damage the real.
No,
So,
no.
Okay.
so they were
Not
like
at all.
SEMA cars.
Right.
Paint
Nah.
still dripping.
But well, they literally rolled the paint on them. Like they showed they were showing pictures of
Yeah,
the process and
yeah.
laughing at everybody. Like we got a bag for this,
Yeah.
for that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
we
Wow.
got a bag of money,
Right.
and because that's what everybody said. So, and I know the guy that sold them the hoods, and he was the first one that posted pictures of them with the reinforcements.
Right,
So
right.
them hoods had to weigh as much as the trunk weighed in them cars, as
No
much as
kidding.
all the batteries. They were reinforced really,
Yeah.
really good. So.
Well, you probably have to for the safety for the dancers and whatnot.
Right.
it was-
Well,
And then all that etching on everything under the hood. You don't want to scratch at it.
they were street cars. so
Oh, they were. They weren't full
They
shows.
weren't. No.
Yeah, it's,
They look good. I mean, it made. You know,
I'm sure they're nice cars. I mean,
I'm-
don't get me wrong. They're
yeah.
probably super, super nice. I don't have a '62 Impala.
Yeah,
So
nicer than my lowrider
Right,
that I
right,
don't have. So
right.
Yeah, I did the car show
Speaking
scene.
of,
what?
I'm kind of scared to hear from them again today.
Oh, I know. I was like, you know, if I knew I'd be delayed again for another effing week, then we would have put mine under the knife.
I'm just afraid that I'm afraid to hear from them.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I've already got my Max.
Well,
They don't even know if it's fixed yet.
well, you're lowering mine, so why don't I take care of your bill there?
I'm not worried about that.
Well, I am. I mean, I'd have to pay somebody to lower my truck.
But
I mean, we're gonna cut the frame on a new truck.
On your
Yeah,
Chevy?
yeah. Yeah. We're gonna C-notch that.
I hate that golf game, Leo. I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate that golf.
I could hear it, you know, through the mics, I guess, and it
Do you ever hear it on the podcast?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's not loud. But that time there, I did. I heard it, you know, and but
Hit start. Hit start. There you go.
I
how to turn it down.
I have done the car show scene. You know, I've had.
Yeah, you were
Cars.
you were in a car club, right?
I was in 2 car clubs that we started in Alton. It was called the ETC Car Club, Excellent Trucks and Cars.
I remember that guy.
And Bill Prane
Yep.
was the vice president. I was the president.
He had the DuPont. Was it DuPont?
He had the white Ford.
Yeah, but it was like a DuPont truck or
Yes,
something like that.
he
It
was
some
sponsored by
paint company.
DuPont,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
Yep.
then he also had his wife drove lowered Dodge. It was called Red Hot.
Yeah.
It was a
remember
Lund.
both
If
of
you
them.
look up Lund Industries, and I can't remember the year, it was
Is
in
he
the
still
90s.
alive?
No, he passed away about 6 months ago.
Oh, really?
Jeez.
Yeah, but it was the Lund Industry truck. It promoted all the window shades, the door shades, the ground effects, and all that.
No kidding.
And he bought it, and but we were the ETC Car Club, and we would get high school kids involved and give them a good, safe grounds to show their cars. And our motto was, if you can afford something good, don't put somebody down that can't. Just like cigars,
Yeah.
And-
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Listen, there's got to be gatekeeping. There has to be gatekeeping, or nobody moves from the level they're at. They stay right where they are.
Yeah, I
There
mean,
has
but
to be.
Well,
gatekeeping.
that's where secondary clubs come in too. I mean, there's
yeah, you've got your
you'll have
Mustang
you'll have
Association.
yeah, you'll
and-
have another club. That is, if you want to take your car to the next level, then you can join another club.
Right, but there still has to be gatekeeping. You can't let a kid like I was, who chopped up a B2200. I was around when Bill Prane was around in Wood River. I was around. You can't let a kid like I was, who absolutely destroyed my Mazda, think that that was the right way to do it by telling them, "Oh, it's okay. That's what you like." No, that was the wrong way to do it.
Well, that's the good
It
thing.
was dangerous.
That's the good thing about America, freedom to choose and all that, and but then we broke away from the ETC Car Club because of some things that was going on, and
Happens in every club.
yeah, and we formed another club off of a lot of the members, and we were called the Rebels with a Cause.
Right.
And you go to different car shows, and they would play your theme music, and ours was Kenny
Yeah.
Chesney's
You
song.
just-
And we had a group come in from East St. Louis that had some badass cars, and their theme that the DJ would play when they showed up was cops. And and they would slide in with their cars and
Yeah.
everything, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't have gatekeeping, you end up with some jackhole with some clapped out Mercedes with no exhaust on it showing up,
Hey,
thinking he's cool.
hey,
It is clapped out.
it is clapped out.
It is clapped
I
out.
love it. That's why I like it so much.
It is. It is.
So you drive around with no muffler to make it sound louder?
I bought it that way. The kid I bought it off of, his name was Aladdin.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you an idea of how clapped out it made.
Magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rub him and you get a 3 wishes or magic lamp?
I don't know.
You ought to ask.
Have you rubbed that car 3 times, or
I haven't.
have
Right.
you rubbed it out in that
I
car?
figured he was
Right.
a carpet pilot.
I think the genie
Rubbed-
screwed him.
Yeah, he definitely didn't get 3 wishes on that.
No.
He had 3
Well,
repairs right off the bat.
There's no Princess Jasmine hanging around that
Nah.
road. Nowhere.
Give him a license to
Is
fly his carpet,
it-
so he drove this instead.
Right.
As old as I am, I grew up putting the hooker headers and the cherry bomb mufflers because you like that loud rumble.
Yeah, it's got the rumble for sure.
I do not. I mean, everybody has their own choice and everything. I don't like the
Cackle.
yeah.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Like watching Fast and Furious 20 million or whatever, and all those
Yeah.
sounds like a 2-cylinder engine, and it's just
Oh, have you heard mine? That's exactly how mine sounds.
your truck.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
American
What are you saying? You
born
don't?
and bred truck is 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
I mean that
I
Fiero
don't-
they flew into space sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I did. That Fiero in space was pretty amazing.
That is true.
So.
It sounds like a rocket. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
mean-
I took the muffler off my truck, so now it sounds like a little rice burner. Yeah.
And everybody has their own,
No,
I mean, I like the
I instantly regretted it. I,
All
ca-
right.
I need to go put it back.
yeah, and I just like that low rumble, and when you're takeoff, it's
Oh, you assume that it's got a V8. That's the problem.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my full size truck's a 4-cylinder.
no way.
Yeah, way. Yeah. So I cut the muffler
Turbo
off.
4-cylinder.
Yeah, it does have a turbo.
It's got the same engine in it his Cruise has.
Yeah, I get Chevy
I
Cruze.
don't think so, actually. I think it's bigger.
It is bigger. It's a 2.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2.7. That's a
What's
big
in the Cruze?
It's got 25 gears.
One-
just to
one-
make sure it
one
doesn't have
six?
mass to get on the highway.
It's a whole liter bigger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 1.1 liter.
It's a whole liter
The
bigger.
Farva.
Yeah. I'm sitting at 22
Get a
miles
liter
per
of Chevy.
gallon. I'm at
22 mi-
22
well-
miles to the gallon in town.
Well, my H2 that I drive, I get about 2 miles to the gallon.
Right, you
But
get
How many
about two-
times did you fill up on the way back from Savannah?
Just once in Kentucky.
Right. All the way from Savannah to here with one fill up. I had stopped 5 times before I hit Kentucky in the van.
Wow.
Driving
Yeah.
a wind sail.
Well, yeah,
Right,
You're driving a brick,
Right.
which I'm driving a truck, which is not the most aerodynamic. But
So I've only driven that around town, right?
Right.
I've not had it on the highway in a while,
Right.
in a long time.
oh, you went to Jerseyville.
And I went to Jerseyville and I got passed by a semi and I remembered why I didn't like driving it on the highway.
Wow.
I'm surprised
Oh,
you get passed
dude,
by
you
cops
can't be
going,
anywhere near a semi truck in that thing. Anywhere
boy, off the road.
near them.
Really?
So, oh yeah, it just beats me up all the way down.
What's
It's like
the-
riding a motorcycle on.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah, right. What's the speed limit in Japan? Like, what's the ours is like 70, right?
Oh, I don't know.
What is it?
2 knots or 3 knots. Or something.
Just stop. That's
Kilometers.
2
I don't
knots.
know. I don't know what it is.
I think it's nowhere different. It's whatever 60 or 55 is.
Yeah,
You think so?
I don't think it's different. It's just whatever that is in kilometers.
Well, no, I get
heavily
that part.
In
Yeah,
communism.
yeah. In communism, I get it. But
Right.
no, I didn't know if like the speed limits were just slower.
Oh, that reminds me of something. I found another board.
Oh yeah.
I found a skateboard that does 50 mile an hour.
Oh my god.
And
Wow.
50 mile an hour.
Right.
Actually, technically, it's 57
Right.
miles an hour.
Right. Leo, you gonna ride the one wheel?
No.
Okay.
And
No. Sorry, my feet wouldn't
I
allow
asked
it. And
them-
it's like, nah.
I asked them how much it was.
Right.
And they came back with a price of $4,750.
You know, for double that, we
Wow.
can get the 80 mile an hour
It's-
rate scooter.
You know,
And
for like
so
a
I-
tenth of that, we can build one that does the same speed. It's just
And
everyone
so
wants to
I said, I replied back with, because at this point, I'm no longer interested anyway. I
Right.
wasn't really interested anyway. I was just kind of curious.
Right.
And I replied back, I was like, yeah, well, how much is that in freedom?
Yeah.
And I didn't get a response. So,
Well, it's like that video that I sent you it's a cigar guy, and they had their one wheels out in the grass, and I'd never
Yeah.
seen that. I heard you guys talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
I'm not that good yet.
yeah, I'm not telling
And
enough
he,
grass.
well, if you watched it, he was kind of iffy on it for a while, and then later on in the video, he looked like he was doing pretty good. But it's like I'd seen you guys on here, and
No, he
down
did
the-
all. He was doing all right. But them guys go off road. I took mine down the half gravel trail by my house,
Mm-hmm.
which is trucks drive on it, and it's gravel. And I did not have a good time
Man.
at all.
So I was riding the old golf course where the train station is now in Alton.
Right.
And so the old golf paths are still they're now walking paths or whatever, which
Right.
you can't park anywhere near there without paying. So it's completely pointless. So anyway, I parked at Home Depot and I went and rode it.
You can't park at the train station.
Yeah, you got to pay.
You got to pay. Yeah.
You got to pay no
That'll-
matter what. There's no free parking at the train station.
When we went to Chicago, you didn't have to pay.
Whenever I came to pick you up, because there's
Yeah.
passenger pickup.
Well, yeah, but when we were gonna leave the car there, and you didn't have to pay.
It's hour parking or it's day parking or it's long term parking.
Damn.
Yeah, there's gates on it. Actually, one wheel
They must have
under the
changed
gate.
it, then.
Maybe. So so that whole park.
There weren't no gates. There wasn't no gates.
Oh, there's gates
either.
now. Yeah, you can't get in without paying now.
I heard on the corner there they're going to be putting a
Interesting.
hotel.
That or a Starbucks or both or something like that.
Yeah.
What's the Starbucks there is going to bang? People are sick of driving to Edwardsville for them.
Well, or to drive in Edwardsville for 2 and then waiting an hour in their ridiculously long lines. So, yeah, I guess there's going to be they're starting construction over there because whenever I was out there riding, but one of the paths, they just kind of have plastic up for erosion. And so obviously it's working fantastic. So one of the paths is completely covered.
Obviously.
And so I was going, fairly fast, whatever, 12, 13 miles an hour, and I hit that, and it was
It's not.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I was just sliding all over the place. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I really want to get more trail time, but I also don't want to break my collarbone. So I've been sticking
I'm
to the
not-
roads.
Just go super rugged and go to Pure Marquette and just say you're going to do this.
Just send it. Just send it.
Do you ride a one wheel?
No. I can't.
You couldn't do it at Pure Marquette. There's
that attitude.
there's a bunch of
Well,
there's
not
too many people walking.
well. So I used to. You're not supposed to mountain bike at Pure Marquette either.
Right.
And I've done that quite often. Mountain biked up there. So I'll go walk a trail just to see if there's any like trees down that will prevent me from riding it. And then I'll go ride it, and then. But yeah, you're not supposed to. The problem with Pure Marquette is the hills are so steep that you're gonna nosedive. So now you're carrying
Oh, yeah.
you're carrying your 30-pound board up. So
Yeah, I
No.
didn't buy it to carry it.
right, yeah, exactly.
And what do they weigh about? What'd you say, about 50
35 pounds.
35?
Yeah, about 30,
I mean, that's
pounds.
still, that's,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
No,
it's easy
The
to carry.
pint's 30. I mean, I could tell you exactly what the pint weighs. I just shipped it.
What's it weigh?
I can't tell you right now without looking at the receipt, but I think it was something like 31, 32 pounds.
Yeah, with
something like that.
packaging.
Right,
So,
right, with packaging.
So, yeah, no, it's this weather's been absolutely. Mine's still in the backseat of the truck.
Yeah,
Like I can't.
I hate this weather.
You know, it's kind of been my release to go and to ride. Leo, how many Facebook cigar groups are you on?
probably close to 60.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even know there was that many on Facebook.
There is. There's new ones that they change the name, and so that one drops off.
Right.
But the other day, Big Boy Cigar Life.
Right. I saw you tag me.
Yeah, and somebody asked me a question and said, as an expert, and I wrote back to him, and I said, all I do is smoke cigars and I have fun. I love the conversation. You
Right.
can have a terrible day. You light one of these, you cut and light one of these, and it goes away, in my opinion. And he said, well, I appreciate your honesty and all that. He said, what do you smoke? And I said, anything. I said, I don't. My grandpa told me that not everybody has deep pocketbooks, so don't look at you and go like, what are you smoking? And you say, and then I go, oh, that's terrible. Just, okay, cool. And we could have 3 or 4 of us sitting here, the same cigar, and we're all going to get different tastes
you're gonna
and
get
flavors,
something else out of it. Right.
And it can be the same row of cigars that they processed and cut and made and all that, and everybody's going to get a different taste. That's just because everybody's palate is different.
Sure,
Right.
absolutely.
And
Right, mine's coated in sweet tea. So
I went, mine's today
mine's
is
not gonna taste the
Pepsi.
same. Right.
I got up this morning at 6:30 and I had a cigar left over from last night. I clipped the end of it off because I don't waste them, and had my can of Pepsi and started smoking. It was a Maduro, and some people say start light and then work your way up. It doesn't. Ooh, is that his car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that didn't sound that bad.
It's bad.
That's because
It's
we
bad.
have headphones on.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Bad.
yeah. But
I started it in the garage to move it off my
It's so
ears
loud.
hurt afterwards.
Yeah, like
I should
it'll
open the door.
It makes your ears ring. It's way
Yeah.
too loud.
I went to a place close by several years ago to get a cigar, and you would have thought I was Charlie Manson when I walked in.
Oh yeah, I know that place.
And it's like,
Follows you around like you're going to steal something, which
Yeah.
makes you want to steal something.
yeah, and it's like, I'm just here to get a cigar. I heard you had some cigars, and and I never went back. I was
Right.
ordering
Me either.
off the line, and
I just kept smoking backwoods.
Right.
I smoke
went back.
backwoods. I smoke Swisher Sweets. It's a cigar. I mean, they burn. I'm not a Lancero type guy because I want something big
Right.
in my hand. I want to be able to feel it. And
Right.
That's
I
what
sit
she
there
said.
and yeah, exactly. I sit there and I roll it as I'm smoking and all that. And
There's a whole romance. There's a whole romance to smoking a cigar.
and here we are back to the cigar stuff. But,
That's okay. Yeah.
sorry about bringing us back. But, I love it. Your shop that's going to be down in Alton there. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the corner building.
No. Second building.
Second building.
Yep.
Now, right there in that strip of buildings, there used to be a cigar shop there.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many years back are you going?
I'm going back into the 40s and 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, way back.
Okay, that's when tobacco was not so demonized.
Yeah.
And so
I can't think of the name of it, but
Well, what's funny is, so did you ever go to the Cedar Box cigar shop that was up by the Lincoln Douglas Debate Square?
that's where it was. I was
Well,
okay. That
not 40s and 50s. I'm just saying, did you ever? This
No.
was early 2000s.
no.
Up to 2006 or 7, I think, is when they closed. That shop was a little shotgun shop, real narrow. It was probably 15 foot wide at its widest point. And it was right next to the Lighthouse Bar. I'm trying
Okay,
to
all
get
right.
you. You know where I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then I expanded into the lounge next door, and that building was a pool hall and tobacco retailer. And so, St. Louis was one of your prime tobacco areas because we were centrally located. Why can't I say that?
Centrally.
Centrally. I don't know. Too much whiskey, I guess. So, anyway, they, St. Louis has been, and, you go to Kentucky, you see tobacco growing right now. So, well, not right now, but, here in a few months. So, it's just we can't grow it all the time because of our climate. It's cold in, what are we in? Almost April?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
into March.
right. So, I mean, the corn's, everything's, delayed in planting and everything else. So, that's why Central America is so amazing, is because they can grow pretty much all year. Now, we're getting ready to get into their rain season, which makes, which slows things down a lot. So, but yeah, there's, all everywhere. There was, I was talking to Charlie Manicky, who just retired from Manicky Jewelry.
Yeah.
And Charlie's dad started that business, and you could go there and buy jewelry and cigars. So the guys would buy cigars and smoke them in there while the wives were looking for jewelry.
Awesome.
Right.
Both get what you want.
Right. That was the thing. Charlie's like, yeah, we used to sell tobacco. We used to sell pipe tobacco and cigars, and every jewelry store was part tobacconist. And I was like, well, look at that. And then, the government says, oh, smoking's bad, so everybody better stop.
Right.
But my doctor,
The war on drugs.
he asked me, do you still smoke your cigars? I go, yep.
Congratulations to the drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
They
They
have
won.
won the war.
They won the war.
They're still winning.
Right.
They will never lose, actually.
They won.
And my podiatrist, who left, I got a different one now.
What's a podiatrist?
It's foot doctor.
You got John? Dr. John?
No, I had Dr. Lindsay.
Yeah, John
Listen,
Lindsay.
Yeah,
can't-
and
Where'd he go?
he left OSF.
Oh, I
He
see. He
got
went on
into-
his own, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not a biologist.
He's a cigar smoker.
yeah.
Dr. Lindsay is.
Yeah, because we talked about that, and then when he left, it took him a little bit to find somebody, and then Dr. Wilmus came in, and he told me that with the state of the neuropathy, because I'm not diabetic, that you need to maybe look into marijuana instead of the pain meds.
Right.
And I said, I would, except for one thing. I'd have to give up my FOID card and my conceal and carry. Because
only legally.
legally, yes, because
Only
if they,
legally.
if you tell, because the only thing
Don't tell them.
well, but when you renew and stuff like that, it asks
Don't.
you, do you take any legal narcotics? Well, if you have the medical marijuana card,
Yeah,
that's
well, they don't-
registered with
so
the,
they don't take your FOID card away. You could
But-
still have your firearms. You can't buy new fire. We ran
Yeah.
into that so many times with the.
Yeah.
And we would tell guys. We would tell what was his name? Loud guy. Karate.
Oh, yeah.
We told him. We told him because he was telling us he was going to get it. We told him don't do it. He had firearms in pawn, and we said don't do it. And then he did it anyway. And then he was so mad when he came back 3 months later. And
We could. So not only can you
Can't
not,
help you.
not only can you not purchase a firearm if you have your medical card,
yeah.
not only can you not purchase one, you also, because when you pawn one, it's still yours, right? It's
Until
under
it sells.
contract. Well, unless you don't pay. Well, he comes in and he pays, and we can't give it to him because the state said no because he had his medical card.
Yep.
And so then he wants somebody else to get them out, which is a federal
Straw
crime.
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a straw sale. So we were really in a pickle as the business because here's a guy who's paid his bill, but we can't give it to him. We can't give it to anyone else that he knows because it's going
Right.
to go right back to him.
Yeah, it's a
So
straw
it's
sale.
like I'm not going to collect up a bunch of felonies.
Exactly,
for this
you're right.
$20 profit. It's just not worth it.
So he didn't get his firearms back.
Yeah.
But anyway, just don't do it legally. Just send somebody.
Yeah, send a wife to get
yeah.
some edibles and see how it does with your pain.
Right.
I can tell you that Steve, that's on here sometimes.
I've seen him, yeah.
Yeah, so he accidentally smoked some THC, and
He was dancing around.
yeah, so he's got some real leg issues as well, right? And now
he was dancing.
Yeah, and so I had to put it together because Steve didn't articulate what he had done because he didn't really know. He thought
Well, he smoked it out of a vape pen.
he smoked it out of a vape pen. So when he came up here, he's telling me that he smoked it out of an ink pen. And he goes, I smoked this ink pen And so I'm looking at the huge mound of food that he put on his plate because we were having some birthday party or something up here at that time.
Can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so Steve's got this huge plate of food, which I've never seen him eat so much. And then he's just walking around. He's just being jolly as could be.
Braces off.
Braces off.
He
his
didn't
leg.
wear his braces
Awesome.
for like a week
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. And I said, Steve, I go, so we figured out it was THC in his vape pen. And so he didn't know what he was smoking.
No, he didn't know.
And so I go, how do your legs feel? And he goes, well, Mike, they feel amazing. And so then he starts dancing around, and I'm like, oh, Steve, they're not healed, buddy. You just can't feel the pain right now.
Yeah.
So there is absolutely some truth to the medical or to the medicinal purposes of the weed. I would say, does your wife have a FOI card?
Not at this time, no.
Yeah, so send her to get the recreational, which you got to pay more tax. That's the only benefit.
This
of
is
having
not legal advice.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't it?
Yeah,
This is
I-
absolutely not legal advice.
It's not illegal to consume.
We're just having a discussion.
No,
Yes.
it's not illegal to consume.
No, I mean, it's legalized. You just can't carry large sums, I think.
Well, you can carry large
I
sums.
do
It just
not
has to be
think-
in state-approved containers.
Containers. I do not think it would be legal to say go around it by having your wife buy it.
Well, if she was buying it anyway.
But she's my caregiver, and she does stuff
There you
like
go.
that. So
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you go and she picks up some edibles, and then actually I got some CBD edibles here. I don't know what they are. THC 8, the
Delta 8, yeah.
Delta 8, which is like a milder version of the Delta 9, which is what is. I had to look it up because I'm like, that's not real THC. It actually is, but
Yeah.
it's a lower
I told you it was.
lower strength. It's between hemp and THC that we know now.
Right.
So it's a milder version of that.
I'll have to look into that.
And in that way, it just helps with the pain. I mean, So I'm not a big THC user at all. Like, I just end up falling asleep and sleeping for days.
And, talking like that there, okay? I mean, I got a lot of friends that are police officers and stuff like that, I mean, and they have told me that they would much rather try to arrest somebody that's doing weed because I'm going to be in back and say, hey, take me to the local shop. I need some chips.
Right.
Somebody that's drunk wants to
they're-
fight,
Yeah, they're combative.
and so, I mean,
Or they're
but
funny.
you can be an alcoholic and go buy guns.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Oh, dude, it's it's fun.
It's all about money.
Our wonderful government.
Money.
It's only about like everybody got their property tax bills. Everybody's property taxes went up, so that was fantastic. I just went and paid the insurance. It went $400 up for the year, just for
I
insurance.
don't know how you can tell your property tax. We got ours too, and I can't tell that it went up.
shows you previous year and then post year. I got 5 of them.
Well,
in
yeah,
here
but
I
it
can show
didn't.
you.
It didn't tell me. It didn't tell me what my payment was next year. What was going
No, it just shows you the assessed value went up.
Right.
So, and it's all BS. All of it's BS.
Oh yeah, because they didn't even come out and look at the house. My value would have went down. I got a porch falling off the front of my house.
Well, hey, my empty lots that I own around the city, they all went up. The grass is greener, so they're like, well, it's in better condition. So we better. The leaves and the trees are budding, so they went ahead and taxed me for that as well. So I can't wait to get rid of all of them.
So
Yeah, I just purchased the house that I live in, and we just got the little card in the mail, for the tax assessments and all that, so it's like, okay, government, take more money,
well, Madigan's got some legal troubles.
Yeah, we got to fund
And,
that.
you can't have Madigan going to prison.
No.
They gotta, there's all these Illinois politicians are going to prison too if he starts talking. So they gotta have him.
This is hush money.
You gotta support the Madigan Legal Fund.
Right.
Illinois has the most governors that have done time in prison or are still in there.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
like, where you live, Illinois? Oh, yeah, your state had all the governors that had to go to prison. Yeah.
We're still working on the rest of the politicians.
Right.
That's like I was down in Branson last year, sitting there, kids and the wife and my stepdaughter, they were all enjoying the pool and everything, and it's just, I'm sitting out there smoking my cigars, and at a table outside, and it was nice out, and here comes a guy delivering pizza, and he's got his sidearm on his side, and I didn't
Missouri.
bother him because he was delivering pizza, and when he came back out, I said, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, you can open carry like that? He said, yeah. He said, you're from Illinois, right? I hadn't said. I go, yeah. I said, we have to hide ours, and I think it's cool that they're out there. You know, I mean, that way, if we're having a problem,
Right. I went in a shop in Florida, and I was asking. I was just down there curious, and just looking, and we were just driving around looking at things, and so I went in a shop just curious, and I took my I wanted to look at something. I took my Ford card out, and the guy looks at me and he goes, "What's that?"
yeah.
And I went, "Oh, I forgot where I was." And I stuck it back in my pocket. He didn't, you know.
Now, if you were to purchase it,
It was habit.
Then you would have to ship it because it's not.
Well, I would have had to have a state ID to purchase it.
Yeah, but you couldn't walk out with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Right. Yeah, you can't walk out with it. You got to ship it to another FFL.
Right.
In Missouri, you have to have a license for concealed carry, but for open carry, you do not. So if you want to hide that firearm,
Yeah, I would rather have it out.
right. Well, and whenever Illinois was going through, before we had concealed carry, even in this state, I was on the fence. I was on the side of the fence where I wanted us to have constitutional carry, so you can carry open or you can carry conceal, but that didn't generate any revenue for the state. But
Right.
so there was groups and petitions and all that stuff that we were all trying to do, and they're like, well, we want concealed carry in this state. And I'm like, so if I'm a home burglar and there's two homes and they're the exact same right next to each other, one's got a bunch of alarm stickers and alarm sign, and the other one doesn't have any. Me as a burglar, I'm probably going to go for the one that doesn't have any signage that says there is a home security system here. Mm-hmm. Or if it says beware a dog on one and the other one doesn't say anything about animals, I'm going to rob the one that looks easiest. So I feel the same way about concealed carry. Like if it's open carry, then you might think twice about grabbing, about sticking me up.
Exactly.
If it's concealed carry, you're going to take the chance, and then you got to find out. Now that puts the person, the victim, as in a predicament where now does he have the training to shoot somebody or not? And so and then the whole downfall of shooting someone. That's a whole another ball of wax.
Yeah, because then you have to prove that it was self-defense.
You got to go to jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, my conceal and carry card expired when I was having a bunch of surgeries, and I couldn't go down and shoot at the range to get it. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get a new conceal and carry. So
just use the old one and say COVID.
Right.
Right. So I got pulled over with an expired.
Wait 7 years.
Yeah, I got pulled over with an expired driver's license, and then I also had an expired CCW, and had my firearm on. But now the driver's license thing was A-OK. So luckily,
Right.
the police officer, the statey didn't see my gun on me because it's concealed. So there's that. So we didn't have to have that conversation about my expired CCW. But I guarantee that would be a completely different issue.
No, you would have went to jail.
Yeah,
but they
went to jail.
know that you're a concealed carry.
Yeah, when they pull your driver's license, it shows
Yeah.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Or your plate, too, because I think it's registered with the...
Yeah, if you...
Is what I was told.
Yeah, if they run your plate, they get your name, and then they can see everything that they need to see.
Everything.
Right.
It just, I wished we could just, if you want guns, have guns. Back in the 60s, they tried to outlaw guns. And there used to be bumper stickers back then that said when guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns.
I just think you should be able to do whatever you want. Stay out of other people's business.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
None of your business.
If you want to carry. I've got guns that are in my house, and not once have they got out of the safe, walked out and shot somebody.
Well, you trained them right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you
the
trained
people
them
that
right.
behind them.
Mine's
hit
been
'em
laying on my coffee table for 4 weeks. Nobody's dead.
Yeah.
But it's 'cause
Laying on my coffee table.
Well, it's because you smack it with a newspaper when it acts up.
Right.
Yeah, you got to roll up the newspaper and smack the gun.
Bad Glock.
Right, bad
Bad.
Glock. You sit
Bad.
down. Right. So
What kind of handguns? You got Glock, you said?
A Glock 43X.
Yeah, I love the Glocks. I got a 43, and then I got a Smith & Wesson 9mm.
I didn't like the Glocks because they're too thick. And then I sold. Now that he's back, I'm going to ask him about that. But I sold my 45 that I want back, my 1911, and I was down there with the money because I'd made some money off of it. I was down there with the money looking to buy something, and I held that 43X, and they're slender. so I liked it. The Glocks were just always too fat, so I never liked them. But I like that 43X. It shoots really, really nice too. So
I had to sell a bunch of my handguns. I had a Glock 17, for target practice and stuff like that. That's what I qualified with. And I always wanted a 44 Magnum.
right.
And I bought one, and not practical.
No, no, not at all.
I wanted it, and then
You weren't Dirty Harry.
yeah, but I had it for a while, and then I had to sell it, and it's like, well, I'm glad I did, because it's like I said, I bought a holster online, and it's supposed to be a shoulder holster, and the gun was way too big for it, even though it said it fits the 44 Magnum. It's like, oh, okay, well, but
Yeah, I was never a fan. So I treat firearms like stock. I mean, you just, if you come across a good deal, buy it, because it's worth money. So you can make money from it later.
never got into like the AR-15s.
Give that a smell.
I've had a few.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, the AJ's got a really unique smell and taste to them.
Yeah, I've had a few, and
yeah.
I'm looking for I sold the last one I had, and I'm looking for a ranch rifle now, because I want something that I know is going to shoot straight if I need to shoot it. So
A ranch rifle? Like you want like a Henry?
no, Mini 14,
Oh, okay.
Ruger's Mini 14.
Yeah. We've had a few of those.
I had one that I
Right.
bought
Right,
through the
right.
pawn shop,
Right.
but I really liked it, and I regret selling it. It's a nice little short rifle. They shoot straight. They shoot excellent, actually. And
They were just a little heavy.
I didn't think that one I had was heavy at all.
No?
So no, I didn't.
They have a stick mag.
I mean, it's not light like a
Like
AR.
a 7.5. Yeah, no.
It's not light like an AR, but
That's how we were getting them so cheap, because the ARs were going crazy. So we were able to get those Mini 14s pretty.
right. So I would figure that you could still get a Mini 14 fairly cheap, because the ARs are still going crazy. But
We are still purchasing,
thus far.
no questions asked, we're still purchasing ARs for $100.
that's right.
That's right.
It's gun buyback,
Gun buyback.
making
so,
our community safer
yes. So
by taking all the mean, awful ARs out of here.
feel
Build back better.
That's right. That's right.
Ah, shoot. So I was wrong on the size. I thought it was the genitalias, but it's not.
It's a 4x48, ain't it?
No, it's 4x52. This is the
Oh, they were 48.
this is the Corsicas, the Chevy Corsicas.
Right.
It's actually the Cordicas, Corticas. So when I order them, I always say Chevy Corsicas. One of the finest Chevys
That's right.
ever to be made.
Not at all.
All right.
So you guys got your ladies' night coming up too.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up in 2 Thursdays, ladies' night. It's going to be, I think, a really good time. The weather should be decent.
Yes.
Should be.
Come on, Mother Nature.
Oh, you're going to be here this Thursday, right?
Not this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday is.
Yeah, you're going to be here this Thursday.
So I got a message from Ronnie, and he said I'll be ready for primer on Thursday evening. So
Saturday then.
don't get me started.
Nissan's doing really good.
Oh yeah. You got the man. If I had the money, Leo, you wouldn't have been able to buy that.
Yeah.
Because that is such a bulletproof damn engine.
I had to put a little money into
All
it.
Nissan engines
I'm not
are
a
pretty well
mechanic.
bulletproof.
What'd you have to do?
Brakes acted up again,
Okay,
and I have always went to Stutz Automotive up on Milton Road.
right.
I trust them and everything, and brakes were getting bad, so they replaced them.
Did that fix it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the door handle on the driver's side stopped. You know how the latches catch and they, slam them and then boom.
Right.
Dealer part, you couldn't find them anywhere. AutoZone,
geez.
so that was a dealer part. So I had to put, about $1,000 into it, maybe $1,200. Shop and all that. Well, I just had the Hummer.
Yeah.
The brakes went out on it, and they had to come and pick it up. I couldn't drive it because I was afraid, you don't stop on a dime in the Hummer. And so it cost me $150 from my house in Wood River to Milton
yeah.
Road in Alton because they brought the rollback and all that, and put the brakes on, doing good and everything. And they told me that the heat shield is rattling, so I need to figure out how to get that tightened up
What's that on the Nissan?
on the Nissan.
I
Yeah.
just cut that thing off.
Yeah,
Because
just cut it off.
I'm not a mechanic,
Yeah.
So,
Because if you're sitting still, sometimes you'll hear it rattle.
Yeah, that's
And-
just cut that thing off.
how's that wrapper looking?
So I was
Coming apart in
It's thin,
pieces.
yeah, and it is a solid piece. It's a solid wrapper, but
Just not coming apart.
Yeah, it's
well.
just a good humidity, and it's like, I mean, look how pliable it is, and it's on there really nice. But I'm not getting it all off in one. There
Not
we
like
go.
that one last week.
Yeah, that was a box press too.
Yeah.
Great. That cigar is super good.
And do you guys like box press?
I like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't pay attention to box pressed, not box pressed. It's
The square rectangle box press, they're harder to twirl in your mouth when you're smoking, but
Right.
you work around it.
right.
But
That's
yeah,
what
it
she
don't
said.
matter. Yeah, exactly. It don't matter to me whether they're
You
box
keep
press.
setting them up, I'll keep knocking them down.
You better believe it. Right on. But with Casey, a couple of years ago, they did a virtual bike show. My Harley won first place.
Right.
I got a nice metal trophy from that. A bottle of
Did you get the-
metallic
oh.
whiskey.
That binder's coming off nice.
Binder's beautiful.
It is. Look at that.
It's a nice binder. I can tell by the stems that this is a shut up mark.
But yeah, it.
Mark should be up here this week. Should be up here.
He should have his ghost, his one-wheel ghost.
Yeah, his his ghost should be. Oh man, I hope that's what he's waiting on. So I told him we were running low on his product. So yeah, no, Mark from Craft and Puro got the new fancy one wheel. Yeah,
Now, is he the one that fell on it, or is he the other?
No,
guy?
That was Hodge.
That was Hodges.
Okay.
Yeah, Hodges went viral on that. I mean, you could be
A little
viral.
viral. He can win a little viral.
He there's like 100,000 views on that.
That's not viral. I think over 1 million's viral. Though.
Is that right?
Yeah. Something like that. Have you seen the? I know we're supposed to be talking about this cigar.
No, you're good.
Did it have two binders or just one?
It looked like it had a double binder. And then
Look
now,
at that.
now
Look at
we're
that whole leaf though.
now we're into the filler. And
I mean,
the
is
fill-
it really a whole leaf since it's so short?
Well, sure, because long filler is just from beginning to end. It's
Right.
one piece, which that's exactly what they did here.
I mean, but is that technically short filler? It's a short cigar.
No, short filler would
Okay.
be
All right.
short filler. So there's that one.
Listen. I don't know. I'm not a biologist.
Oh, we're so topical.
Right.
We're so topical today.
Staying on it.
You know how to roll cigarettes too, or cigars, right?
Yeah.
I know how to roll a joint.
Yeah, I can roll a joint
Not
too.
me anymore.
Right.
I
That's not
used
hard.
to. We had the wrapper and
I
boom.
used to be able to roll a joint and drive a car at the same time.
Now that's talent.
Look
Use
at-
your knees to steer and
Yep.
boom.
Look at that smell. That's the.
That's nice.
You know,
I
smell?
can't. I
Oh,
probably
okay,
can
that's right.
smell
You're.
it.
I like it.
He's
My
got-
sinuses
he's
are
got
so
the,
screwed
yeah,
up.
He's got the allergy stuff.
And I
I
sat
got
and
I
I
got
watched.
my wife's car for. It's not allergies. It's my wife's car. I got my wife's car for all of 10 minutes, and she's got some air freshener in there, and it got in this nose, in this nostril, and almost killed me that night. I had such a terrible headache from it, and my nose,
I tell
my
you what.
nostril's still burning.
These things are so well made. Look at
It amazes me, these guys that roll cigars and stuff, and they take them leaves and they make these cigars for us to enjoy. It's like, man. And they're doing it, one right after the other
Right.
quickly.
that. Right.
Because I'll sit and watch them on video on YouTube and everything. And it's like, wow. And just,
That doesn't work, does it?
I got to roll it up a little more.
So
yeah, I'm on.
so that looks like good tobacco.
It is really good tobacco.
Looks like
I
it.
love
It's a high quality
JJ's.
cigar.
Looks like a Snoop Dogg.
Right, right.
Well,
Looks
that's
like actually that looks like a backwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it
kinda.
does.
That looks
It
like
sure-
right there.
What a
Except high quality tobacco,
what? Yeah, not shavings.
not cuttings.
No,
and
I mean,
cookings.
you know.
well, the backwoods are pipe tobacco.
Are
so,
they?
Yeah.
So I mean, the binder, the wrapper came off in pieces, but I think that was more me unrolling it and just. I mean, it's still. That's
Still
pretty
very,
thick.
very, yeah, and
pretty
it
thick.
looks still.
So like you're smoking a Connecticut wrap now, and you know that it's kind of busted a little bit on you because it's such a it's such a thin wrapper leaf, and then this leaf here, I mean that's pretty thick, pretty nice.
And here I go back to cigars, but do you guys like the Gurkha brand?
I do. I like.
I hear
Gurkha's had
different.
one that I've liked, and we can't get it no more.
I think they just came back. I
So-
just saw them. So,
Right, isn't that Revenant Gurkha?
yeah,
So how long did it take you to get that Revenant?
a long time.
So we can't get this one that I like no more?
Would you like the War Pig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever... Now, to be fair, I haven't had, but
To beef.
I've had that one, and I smoked one of their cheaper ones that we've got in there, and that's all I've ever smoked of them.
My only complaint about Gurkha is they have 1 million SKUs. They have 1 million different freaking products, and it's one of those things that it's like, man, it's hard to fall in love with it. And it's like, how many of these are just recycled? Like,
Right.
it didn't sell well under this name. Let's put a different name on it. I don't
Right.
know if that's the case, but man, you got that many.
Seems like it,
You got
yeah.
that many blends. Like, you blended literally every possibility of blending, and that just doesn't make sense. So, but the Revenant was fantastic. Revenant. That's a really great cigar. I've had a few of those. They're real. I enjoy it. That's almost a wafer. Did you see how thin that box press was on it? I'll get you one before you go. But yeah, that was a I like that who was it? Acid made one. It was called the Waif, and it was super thin like that. It was just I just want to see the mold that has to come in.
Oh,
Like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys retro hell a lot when you're smoking?
I do.
No, I don't. I don't inhale.
No, retro hell.
Retro
We're
hell.
blow it out your nose.
Oh, I probably should burn this crap out of my sinuses.
That's how you keep the COVID away.
Or make it worse.
There's
One
a
or the other.
guy that follows podcasts and stuff like that, Daniel Neufeld. He's out of Saskatchewan, Canada.
Right.
Doesn't matter what strength the cigar is to him. He inhales every puff of it. It's like,
no.
oh, I never have.
No.
My grandpa, when I got my first cigar from him, we were walking out on the property there in Jerseyville, and I asked him what he was doing, and he said, I'm smoking a cigarette. And I said, why? And he said, because I can. I go, can I have one? He said, your mother would kill you and me both.
And then he gave you one?
And then he gave me one because I said, well, I want to try one. He said, okay, 2 things. First off is don't put anybody down. He said, these are gas station cigars. Willie
Right.
Plato service station in Jerseyville had them. It was a white out. And he said, do not inhale because no matter where we're at, your mom will hear you coughing your head off and we're in trouble.
So we was, when the pawn shop was open, we were switching days back and forth. Mike would work the pawn shop and I'd work the cigar shop. And I don't remember what was going on, but he had a flathead. And he had set it down. There was barbecue grill outside. And he had set it down outside. And it was like still half of a flathead left. It was still quite a bit left. And I watched this kid roll up on his bicycle. And I watched him through the windows. And it wasn't dawning on me what he was doing. You know what I mean? I was watching him
Yeah.
do it, but I wasn't registering in my head what was going on. And then when I finally realized that he took Mike's cigar, I went to get up to chase him down, and then I went, nah,
let him-
he's going to learn that lesson. Him and all his buddies are going to learn that lesson.
Here, look what I got. Puff, inhale,
Right,
and then
right,
cough your head
right,
off all day.
Right, cough, well, be
Eyes
green.
watering,
That's
yeah.
a flathead, buddy. He's going to be
Greening
He's gonna
out.
be green. So back to Mark and his Ghost, his one-wheel Ghost.
Yeah.
That he's waiting for.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't arrive DOA because a lot of them have been arriving DOA.
Yeah, I saw somebody did a live YouTube. Will it turn on?
So there's a guy with millions of subscribers on YouTube that's all about fighting for the right to repair.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his
He's
videos.
done 4 videos now, just ripping them to shreds.
Well, as you should.
I think they're headed for a crash. I think they're
Wow.
going to fail this year.
Do you
Well,
think-
you guys impress
year.
me when you're riding them. I mean, see you in here in the shop, and then when you're out doing your, lives in parks and stuff like that, it's like I roller skated when I was younger.
I
Tried
can't
to
roller skate.
skateboard, and couldn't do it.
Right.
And it's got 4 wheels on it, but
Well,
you got that balance thing.
I didn't skateboard when I was younger because it's too hard to skateboard around here.
Yeah, well, yeah, all
Yeah,
the
the roads are
cracks
terrible.
and
Yeah, the roads are terrible, and it's always uphill and downhill. It's just too much work.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
know kids that did skateboard in this area, but it's just too much work.
And that
No
day
thanks.
that I watched Mike, what city he was in, and he's filming and he's drinking coffee and
That
he's
was
smoking.
longboarding.
Yeah,
That's when we were in Georgia.
yeah, and it's like, holy
yeah.
shit, how is this guy doing all those things and on that board? You know, it's
Well,
like,
that was just a skateboard. That was just a
I know,
peacemaker
it's just-
longboard.
yeah, I
know, but it's just still,
It'd been
like-
easier. It'd been easier on the longboard, or on the one wheel. I mean.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because there's no push off. Then you can just ride, and like I go up to the coffee house, get a coffee on the one wheel, and then I ride back drinking the coffee. And I haven't eaten it super hard yet. So but I also don't even have 100 miles on this new board. So the weather's been too terrible.
well, I give you both thumbs up for being able to ride them and everything, and I enjoy watching them. It's like, holy Toledo!
But
uh,
I think the company that makes them, I think they're headed for a crash this year. So
Really?
they should have issued a recall.
Did you see the?
Should have issued a recall already.
Did you see the on the 40 plus group? There was a guy who just dropped the F-bomb. He's filming himself riding the new GT with their tire, and it's oblong.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's whop 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 whop, and he goes, "If you're gonna make your own tire,
it's terrible.
make it round."
Well,
yeah.
There's videos out there of them sanding them down, flipping them upside down, and triggering them, and then taking a sander and making them right.
Yeah,
And they should have. So when I bought that Haitian,
right.
when I bought that skateboard from Evolve, Haitian bamboo from Evolve, before it was even left wherever the place I bought it from, before it even left, Evolve had sent me a notice saying, hey, you need to send that back because there's a problem that affects like 2% of the boards. It comes down to like 2% of the boards that this
Right.
problem affects. And I sent an email and they said, well, you shouldn't have to worry about it because it affects these. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So 2% of the boards.
right.
So the GT is the Ghost is way past that.
Do you think
2%, way past. It's got to be at least a quarter to more of the board so far, and FM is not doing nothing.
No.
So you've got the lack of a recall,
Right.
and then you've got the fact that FedEx isn't letting them ship back now. So they're having problems with FedEx because they weren't declaring batteries.
That's
So
something.
so you
guys-
got that going on, and then you've got all the multiple lawsuits, both as them being defendants and plaintiffs.
right.
And you've got, I mean, that stuff stacks up. That's just
Yeah.
pile of money, a pile of money, a pile of money, a pile of money,
Right.
a pile of money. Who's paying for all these boards to go back?
Right.
Who's paying for all these? I think they're going to crash. So they've got all these employees building these boards right now. They had to up production to
Right.
build all these boards for pre-order.
Right.
So that's a pile of money. And then they've got a bunch of them that need warranty. They're showing up DOA. The tires are oblong on them. They're ghosting. There's a foot pad problem.
These boards, Leo, they're $2,800.
With all the you can
Yeah.
get them for like $2,300 without all the accessories, just bare bones.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here comes this product that they've been working on for how long?
And they pushed release date. They pushed release date back 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah. Because it was supposed to be in last year, correct?
And then they rushed them right out the door.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you get oblong tire, and that's you don't even know that unless your starts.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to turn on.
Yeah.
That's problem one that they're having is they don't turn on.
They don't turn on under 60 degrees apparently.
Yeah.
Or they turn off or something's
Yeah.
happening to them in cold weather.
Yeah. So yeah,
So-
we haven't had
We haven't had a 60-degree day in over a
we've
week.
rode probably but we've probably rode once under 60 degrees.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
or I'm sorry, pardon me, once over 60 degrees. Every other day has been under 60 degrees, right around it.
Right.
So like, you just dropped $2,800,
Yeah.
and then you can't ride it because
No.
A, it doesn't turn on, or B,
No.
it's too cold. So
I hope Mark gets a good one. I
I'm
hope
sure he
Mark gets a
will.
good one.
Yeah, I'm sure he
So,
will.
I don't know, man.
That'd
So-
buy a lot of cigars.
Oh,
so,
sure. Yeah.
Well, not only is it $2,300, but now they're having and it doesn't matter 2 miles, 6 miles. This guy said I had 600 miles before mine started acting up, and they ghost. So you've got a 40-pound board because they weigh more than the XR
yeah,
now.
like 37.
You got a
38.
40-pound board that you are no longer on, and it takes off at 18 to 20 miles an hour all by itself.
Holy, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On its own, without
Yeah.
any.
Now, it's not going to kill some little kid like a bunch of these people are saying, but it definitely break your ankle if it hits you.
Well,
for sure.
and if it goes out into traffic, which a lot of us ride in your roads, I
Yeah.
mean, now a truck hits it. I
Right.
mean, you're 2,800, and I guarantee
Now
they're
you've
not
got a
warrantying that one.
Now you got a lithium battery fire. Hey, that brings up another thing. I watched a video of EUC
Right?
that caught fire.
I think I've seen that video.
You
It was
watch.
spectacular.
The government will start making you guys on one-wheelers have insurance on them.
Well, yeah,
you know,
if they're going to fly out in traffic,
They're
probably.
still a niche. They're still a niche item. They're not real.
It's
They're
not really
We're
a-
not on their radar.
But our
yet.
government, you know how they
Yeah,
are, you know. so-
but it's not on that radar
Well,
yet. But it is on this big popular YouTuber's radar, and I don't remember his name, but it is on his radar. And he has a lot of subscribers, and he's just been tearing them apart.
what sucks is it's such a fun release. It's such a fun hobby. And,
What sucks is it's a it's a great product,
right,
ran by a bunch of
stoners.
terrible people. They're just terrible people. And then I see a lot of people are wanting you. They're saying, "Well, just get a leash for it for right now." That sounds like a terrible idea.
You're going to tether yourself to a
Right.
40-pound
Right.
going 20 miles an hour.
yeah.
That just sounds
Dude,
like
when
a
my
terrible,
dog when my
terrible
dog
idea.
runs on the leash, it
Yeah.
almost pulls my arm out of socket. Where am I supposed to put that leash?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking. You ever been pulled by a dog?
Right.
Well, I guess maybe they want you to attach it to a building or something.
No,
you
no,
know.
no. Like it. So like you go to step off of it. So you come up to like let's say a stop sign. You could stop and let's say you get off, and that board just takes off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they want you to tether it to yourself like it's a surfboard.
Yeah, so you're laying in the road. And
So now
Right. So
right.
you're laying in the road.
So now it's going to pull you down, and it's just going to sit there and do a burnout.
Yeah.
And you got to go try to. Now you're fishing it in, and you're going to try to grab this, almost 40-pound item that's trying to do 20
Try-
miles an hour.
yeah.
After it's already pulled you down on the ground, so it makes perfectly good sense.
yeah.
So
Makes no good sense. The guy's name is. It's going to start on me, unfortunately.
yeah, I think the GT is only around because
The guy's name is Louis Rossman.
Yeah.
1.7 million subscribers, and this is the fourth video I've seen. He just tears them apart.
Now was he a fan of the one wheels before?
No,
Have you
he's a right to repair guy. So
Oh yeah.
he's just all over like Apple and,
Yeah,
and those
yeah.
kind of companies. He's
Right.
just all you own it. It's yours. If you want to take it someplace and have it fixed, you should
Right.
take it. And then you've got these guys that argue. They say, well, it's if you take it to Crackhead Bob and he doesn't do your battery replacement right, then FM's liable. You can say that you can deny that you ever took it there, and FM's still liable. But here's the problem: FM's still liable anyway.
Right.
They're still liable. It doesn't matter who works on it. They
Right.
sold the product to begin with.
Right.
They
Right,
are
yeah.
liable anyway. It doesn't matter if I work on it myself. If I fall and get hurt, I can still sue them.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah. It's just like a vehicle.
I can take all the bolts out of it. You can go down the road, and if I fall and get hurt, which I'm going to, I can still sue them.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I
mean,
mean,
you-
so
if
am I
you-
going to win?
No.
Not if
Probably
they find out I took all the bolts out.
Right,
of it.
right.
But that's them thousands of dollars out of attorney money later.
Well,
So-
and you too as well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Well, I can file suit for $9,999 for $125.
Well, yeah.
So, and it'll cost them thousands of dollars in attorney's fees to come hassle with it.
To Madison County.
Yeah, to come hassle with
a
it.
lot of insurance companies will just pay because they don't want
Sure.
to pay the
Right. And that's the other thing. I'm in Madison County, so even if I took all the bolts out, I still might win.
Right. You probably will.
So,
Trust me, because I know all about that insurance. Back in the day when I lived in Jerseyville, I had country companies insurance, and we lived out near cornfields, and we get field mice. My sister was staying with us because she worked at Pizza Hut up in Jerseyville. She brought her cat up to get him.
Right.
Cat ran away one day while we're all working. My neighbor, who was a construction worker, tried to catch the cat. The cat scratched him. I come home, the cat, we can't find it for a couple of days. I called the police and I said, describe it, and I did. And they said, yeah, it attacked your neighbor, and we had to euthanize it because we couldn't tell if it had rabies or not.
Right.
I go, it's my sister's cat. It got loose. I said, what if I backed you into the corner?
Right.
Country companies paid him, and this is back in the 70s, $15,000 for cat scratch.
Wow.
Yeah, they wouldn't fight it.
Wow.
And back
I'm
then,
gonna go hunt me down a neighborhood cat.
and
I could
back
use that
then, you
15G.
didn't have caller ID
That's
and stuff like that.
crazy.
So me and my buddies, we'd be riding our bikes and drinking, and
Sure.
rotary phone dialed up, and sending cards with cats on it, but.
You gotta get your 15 grand worth.
You better believe it.
Yeah, 15
Right.
grand worth of
And
entertainment.
he'd call the Jerseyville police. Are you harassing your neighbor? No. We're
Yeah.
sitting down here drinking beer, having a good time. Well, he said that somebody called his house and meowed like a cat. I said, wasn't me.
Am I drinking milk out of a saucer? Am I jumping around all nimbly bimbly?
So it's like, yeah, but we had fun, and it was, but yeah, it's like
15 grand.
Yeah, 15,000. And that was back in the 75.
That was when 15 grand was worth
76.
something.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, he went out back then, and like I said, he did concrete finishing for a construction company up in Jerseyville. He went out and bought a custom van, full size, and he'd be out there washing that thing, chopping wood. But when he went to town, he had his arm in a sling. I took pictures and sent it
Over a cat scratch?
over a cat scratch. Yeah.
Listen. When I was little, my sister had a mean cat, and I was little. So what is the first thing I do when I seen the mean cat? I went after the mean cat.
Did you grab
That
it
cat-
still?
That cat bit me, and my hand swelled up like a softball.
Really?
With pieces of meat hanging out.
What?
Yeah, it was bad.
Holy
it was
crap.
really, really bad. My dad wrapped it up actually, and I never went to the hospital. And it turned bright red. It was hot. There was fever in it and everything else for like a week.
Right?
And I played like a normal kid. I never had a problem with that hand at all, and it was swollen.
But
It was
man, if you would have got 15,
huge.
if you would have got 15 grand for that,
Right.
you'd have been walking around in a sling for 6 months.
right.
You better believe
put
it,
it in
yeah.
a cast.
Yeah, that was
Put it in
sad,
a
but
cast.
it's just that's the way insurance companies, they'd rather just pay the money and instead of fighting it.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I mean, I get it, but this isn't insurance. There's only so much of that you can survive, and so maybe if it was just the lawsuits alone that they're having to contend with, which it has been for years, maybe they could and not only the lawsuits against them, but they're suing other people too. That's a lot of money going out the door.
Yeah.
And maybe they could survive that because they're making it all, but their reputation is gone massively downhill when
Yeah.
it was already going downhill to begin with. This is just tied an anchor to. I told I used this line on PayPal the other day, and I used it again the other day about FM. When they're done, they can all get jobs operating backhoes because they are very, very good at rapidly digging holes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just digging a huge hole, and they're not even trying. They're trying to, like, they're taking back the boards that people are complaining about and sending back. You know what I mean? But they're trying to handle it one at a time, and that seems like the wrong way to go. Listen, you have a problem. There is a problem.
But it's not 100% of them, though. It's like 25% of them.
It was only 2% of those boards, and they recalled every single one of them.
Well, yeah. I
Every
mean,
single one of them.
It's the proper way of doing
2%.
business.
Yeah, that's the proper
come
way
you
to
didn't
do
send yours
business.
back?
2%. Because they said I shouldn't have a problem. They said I shouldn't have to worry about it. That I should be past the production date to have to worry about it.
So if the GTs were $1,000, would you buy one?
No, I wouldn't buy a GT right now.
Really?
I would not buy a GT.
So in 6
I'm not
months,
I don't
in
think I'll buy a GT later either because you can't even unhook the battery.
Right.
Board's dead.
Yeah.
There's you cannot do anything, which means you can't change your own tire.
Nope.
Not only can you not change your own tire because you can't unhook it, but you can't change your own tire because they changed the tire size just to make it to where you had to buy the tire.
Right.
Because there's no difference. The tire size is the only difference between its engine and the
Yeah.
XR.
XRs.
No, I don't think. No. That's why I went looking for 4208 and 4209 boards. Like my board's a 4208, and they've got Bluetooth issues. That's fine.
Right.
I can put a CBXR battery in it and get GTR mileage out of it,
If not more.
if not more.
Right.
It's faster than the GT.
Your
So,
board is?
The XRs are faster than GTs.
Those GTs are running 19 plus miles an hour
They're
right
faster than the GTs. Everyone that's raced them has won on an XR.
now. No
Yep,
kidding.
the
Wow.
XR beats them. They don't get up to the same speed, but
But they get there faster?
They seem to get there faster.
That's like Tesla stuff.
So, I don't think I'll ever buy a GT. I don't think I'd ever.
So if FM said, "Hey, we're going to sell these for $1,000, brand new,"
I don't think I'd buy one.
you wouldn't buy it.
Nope.
What price point would you buy
I can
one?
still buy an XR for $1,000.
Well, sure.
I don't think I'd buy one. Period.
Really?
I don't think I'd buy one at all.
Do you ever see
Nope.
races on
Oh yeah.
one wheels?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
we watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Really?
we
Okay,
watch
I have
one
I'm
more
not,
race.
so
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out
Oh,
because
dude, they're dumb. They're super dumb. These guys. You know, we were talking about
It's
how
actually the race itself is exciting to watch. But
No,
the
no, it
guys
is.
The guys are just
Lee-
deer in headlights, stoned
was
out of
it
their minds.
you or was it you, Chuck, that was saying somebody jumped like you do a skateboard?
Oh no, they do that too.
Oh, they
Really?
do all kinds of tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't see how that. I mean,
And they're doing kick flips, a kick flip style.
Yeah.
Trick on it now.
The GT ad has a guy going up a wood like bicycle ramp,
Right.
and he kick flips on top of the ramp.
Wow.
That's on the GT commercial right now.
Yeah. I don't think I'd buy. I don't think I'll ever buy a GT.
Really?
If you unplug the battery, the board's dead. And the battery, like this Lewis guy says, the battery's a wear part. Battery is
Yeah.
going to go dead.
Yeah.
It's going to. The cells will die in that battery. There's
And
no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Do you think FM's like, hey, go ahead and just buy our newest release? And
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're
Yeah.
doing because they're not warranting XRs no more either.
Right.
There's a guy on one of the groups right now fighting to get his XR warranted, and he just bought it like in
November?
October or November.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bought it,
Yep.
and he's fighting to get them to warranty it.
And he's got new
That's-
software, so
Right.
he can't really
Nope.
get in. Yep.
That's part of the joke too. Did you open the box? Well, your warranty's void. Oh, you turned it on. Warranty's void.
Right.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
you videoed it ghosting off into the nothingness. The warranty's void.
Right. Right. You're
Yeah,
supposed to
well-
be on it to ride it.
Oh, you sanded the tire down because we put out a
Oblong
oblong tire. Warranty void.
Yeah.
So they have fixed it to where you can't turn a screw on the damn thing, and the warranty's void. But here's another thing. There's a guy on the group that they're sending him a foot pad to replace the foot pad because he has a ghosting issue.
Okay.
And so they're sending him a foot pad to replace the foot pad.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
So
Yeah.
if he replaces,
So the guys that said if you turn a screw, your warranty's void, want you to replace the foot pad?
Yep.
yeah,
How's
I
that?
told him, I said, I've commented, I said, I would call UPS or FedEx or however that's coming, and I would say, don't even drive down my block with that
Right.
foot pad. Don't even bring it anywhere near my house, because as soon as it hits my street, FM's going to go, you changed the foot pad,
Yeah.
warranty void, boom,
warranty
yeah.
void.
Isn't that something? And to come out with a product that
It's an excellent product.
it's so
Everybody that gets on this product loves this product.
yeah.
Everybody.
Leo, I'm telling you, like it changes like your state of mind while you're riding it.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's like to me, it's like riding a motorcycle.
Absolutely, absolutely. When
You're
you
one with the wind. That's
Yeah,
what I.
yeah,
There's a freedom that, and I'm not
better believe it.
that kind of person. There's a freedom to it.
yeah.
Oh,
An absolute altered state of mind.
And that's what makes
freedom
it.
to
That's what makes it so sad is that this company, and you're right, is probably failing. Within the next 2 years, there won't be anything.
I think they'll be done this year,
You think it's good?
I think
I
so.
bet you. I bet you they can delay court long enough for everybody.
but that's still thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees.
Yeah,
they're
but
paying.
I mean that's just a few boards sold. You know that I guarantee they're making 5 times their investment on these boards.
How many boards do you think are out there?
A lot.
Oh, yeah, they're making. Well, they're doubling. They're definitely doubling.
No, they're doing more than doubling.
Yeah, they're definitely
No,
doubling.
They're doubling. They're triple or quadrupling their.
I've looked on
investment.
Alibaba for the wheels for
Right.
the engines because it's just the that's
the motors in the
skateboard
wheel.
The motor's in the wheel, and it's just a scooter.
Yeah.
It's just it's basically off of some generic scooter someplace, and they're still $300-something on Alibaba. Now they're buying them in massive bulk,
Right.
Of course,
Right.
Wow.
So they're probably getting them for $50 a unit, but you still got that $50, and then the controller is not. They're in-house building these controllers,
Right.
so yeah, all those parts are cheap, but the labor isn't.
Right.
The labor, the in-house labor,
because it's made in
build them
Santa
isn't.
Cruz, right?
They're in,
Santa
yeah,
Cruz. Yeah.
they're in-house building the balance chips. So yeah, those parts are cheap, but the labor isn't.
Right.
You know, you got all that labor, so they're probably at least got $1,000.
No way.
I'd almost bet. I'd almost bet. By the time you buy materials,
I can't understand why they sell these things to people, and then, you know, you got knowledge of electronics and stuff like that, and you couldn't repair your own board because it would void the warranty.
well, you can't.
They want you to send it to them.
You can't even send it to a shop
Nope.
to get it repaired.
There is no shop.
Well, there are shops repairing them,
Not authorized.
not authorized by FM though. No.
Yeah.
There's shops repairing them.
Yeah, you know, if you have a problem, just back to Santa Cruz.
Back to Santa Cruz, and then so you pay the shipping back. I don't even think they're paying the shipping. Well, they are on the GTs, but I don't think they're paying the shipping back on anything anymore, other than the GTs right now. If you can get them to go back, because they send you a FedEx label and FedEx won't accept them. They have asked, several people have come out and said that they've asked them to mark the hazardous material label off the box before they send it back.
Really?
There's just so
And it's got to be
much.
expensive to send them back. Your cost, I
Yeah.
would think.
It
I
cost-
don't know.
It cost me $60 to send a pint the other day
Yeah.
to Arkansas.
And it's even more for the bigger boards.
Yeah, so it would be more because it'd have to go to Santa Cruz, California, across the country.
Right.
So that would be more. That makes it more, and it's a heavier board. So you're probably $80-$90. They're $80-$90.
Right.
Every GT that goes back, they're $80-$90. How many GTs do you think are out there?
I don't know.
I wonder how many they've sold. How many they've
Do you think 10,000?
because they've put out. I don't think that many.
That's a lot.
I don't think that many. But everybody, I've only seen maybe 5 videos where the board hasn't done something that it's not supposed to do.
I've seen quite a few, but I had at my house that pops up all the time. So I've been watching a ton of GT reviews.
But you've got 2 miles and you've got a guy with 600 miles and his just did it. So it seems like it's gonna happen to every single one of them.
We'll see. I don't know, and
So-
maybe there's a firmware update. You know, they can do a
I
software
don't see how
a
that-
software update. I mean,
That doesn't change the foot pad.
and it doesn't change the oblong tire.
They think it's a physical. That people think that it's a physical problem with the foot pad.
Well, when you get them in the mail, then they come with a Fred Flintstone wheel.
Oh, they come with a tire that's completely useless.
Oblong or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
not- it's
Wow.
not.
Well, and then
Flat spotted probably.
do you think that's what it is? Because the pushback was so long, but where was it sitting? You think it was really sitting to where it's getting flat spotted?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But here's a
flat
brand-
spot is what makes the tire oblong. I mean,
Here is these are brand new. This is a new size for this tire.
they're not. They can't be physically making the tire in house.
I don't think they're making the tire in house. They're subbing it out.
So right. So whoever they sub the tire out to has to be somebody who makes tires. They're not producing an oblong tire from that factory. You wouldn't think.
But this is a size that has never been made before, correct?
That's just a cutout on the inside. That's not got nothing to do with the top of the.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Are the tires as big as go-kart tires or bigger?
Yeah. They're the ones on the XR and the Pioneer go-kart tires.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah.
That's why, and I think that's the big draw. They got so greedy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna go buy a Hoosier,
Yeah.
go-kart tire. Well, we're gonna make the new ones.
Like 0.5. So you know how like some semi trucks are they're not 16s, they're 16.5.
Right.
So you can't put a 16-inch tire on the 16.5
Right.
tire. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. So that stops now on a semi truck. It's to stop you from putting a street tire that is not supposed to be on a semi truck tire.
Right.
On a semi, which they're still doing because they take them and they have them turned down. But the mini truck guys do that all the time.
Right.
But they just so they've basically made it an odd. So instead of being an 11, it's an 11.5 or something like that.
Right.
And or that would be the width, wouldn't it? It'd probably
it's
be
11,
like it'd probably be like instead of a 6 or an 8, it's a 6.5 or
Right.
an 8.5.
So they did that just so they get the money.
Yep.
Right.
Just so
And
that
the- and this
they
re-
are the only ones. that
And the
have
repairs
time.
are the same way. They just here. Do you remember when somebody'd make a product and just get it out there? Just get it out there. Now, imagine the fanfare. So
Now if they reverse course, and they're like, okay, we're going to authorize these SLS shops to
Right.
fix our boards,
that's a different thing.
and we're gonna call JWFM, the battery guys that they're suing right now, and we're gonna settle this out. And we're gonna let them make battery upgrades,
Right.
but you have to send it into an SLS shop to have the battery upgrade done if you want any kind of a warranty.
Right.
If they reverse course, then like immediately, and if they reverse course on that and they do a recall, then I think they'll probably
Survive.
they'll be fine.
Right.
But I think they're under a year. I give them this year. I bet third and fourth quarter, or so, especially now that this Lewis guy with 1.7 million subscribers, and every time he posts a video, he goes, "Tell the FTC," because what they are doing is illegal technically.
Is that monopoly?
So no, it's a right to repair.
the
is
right
the
to
thing.
repair.
Yeah.
Well, how did Apple get away with it?
I don't think Apple technically got away with it because now you have Apple service shops. You have places that can repair Apples now.
So are these one wheels? Are they from? You said Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're made in Santa Cruz, but they're built with Chinese.
Yeah,
parts.
parts. come
That's,
from
that's what I was
everywhere.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Are
they're
they
built with
from
Chinese parts.
mostly Chinese?
All over
And
the world.
So there was a company, there was a website, and I don't know if it was a company, where you could buy all the parts and a VSC, and that's another thing that's going to kill them. The VSC stuff is finally coming to fruition in a big way.
Right.
They finally have it just about dialed in. There was a company where you could get a VSC and all the parts for like $600, $650, $700, but they are no longer there.
Yeah.
So
They
and
got-
they
they
were
got
calling it the float wheel, and they are no longer there.
Yes, and that's happened within the last couple months. 'Cause
So
it was
for the
just
company,
there
it's a
yeah,
money-making thing because they always know you're going to have to get their parts
Exactly.
from
it's,
them.
It's greed.
It's greed.
It's greed, yeah.
And for a bunch of surfer, snowboarding, stone dudes, it's just odd to see it.
Yeah.
So
Right,
It's
yeah.
really, really odd to see it.
Right.
So
All right, does that wrap this up?
I don't know. Did you want to talk about that cigar that you demolished that we didn't even talk about?
Nah, that's AJ Fernandez, last call. That one was Maduro. It unrolled beautifully.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah. I even tried to smoke a little bit of the filler. Felt like Snoop
And
Dogg.
I do want to say that this Lars Teton cigar was my first. I enjoyed it.
I think that was Brief Ecstasy. That's what that cigar's called, Brief Ecstasy.
It was very.
Was it brief?
Well, it was kind of long.
Yeah.
Mine was more brief. I should have gotten a longer one.
That's what she said.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great. I'd never had them, and that was cool.
Leo,
I appreciate it.
I want to thank you for coming on to the Unrolled podcast.
I enjoyed it.
What are we at, 140?
148.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Instagram is Unrolled Cigar Podcast on Instagram.
Yep.
We were really active on it when the weather was warm,
Right.
so we'll be really active on it again when the weather gets warm again.
About a week.
Yeah, about a week or two, maybe two. Unrolled on Facebook, and then of course, like, subscribe.
Sure.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, like Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Slap
There it is.
it. And
Yeah, there it is.
Jeez.
I just want
That's
to
what
say
she
that
said. There it is.
I enjoyed coming up here. I love you guys, as cigar people and just talking people. So all my friends out there, when I send this to you to watch, follow these guys because they're a lot of fun. And it doesn't always have to be about cigars. It's about everything.
Yeah.
We
About
smoked
everything.
a cigar. We talked about a lot of stuff. So I love
Well,
it.
that's what the show is. The show is
Yes.
just
BSing.
the conversation around a cigar. It's not actually about the cigars. It's a conversation around the cigar.
Yep.
And I say every week, and I'll say it again now, don't make stupid people famous, but two more won't hurt.
That's right.
So-
And I mean, when I did my first live Facebook, Mike came over, and I wasn't nervous about talking. I was nervous about knowing the knowledge to get it to where
we don't. I don't know anything about cigars.
you do too. You don't.
I don't know. I really don't. And I'm extremely rude to the customers apparently.
Yes.
So
You get what you give. You know what I mean? If they come in with an attitude, then
I
sorry.
don't know that I'm being rude. I just come across as rude. Listen, if you come into AP Cigar, I'm not being rude. I'm just kind of a prick.
anytime I've walked through those doors up there, you know, if you're sitting in the lounge there watching the TV with other people, you know, you always say hello.
Right.
That's good to me.
It's my face.
Yeah. Well, you know.
It's my face.
It's that crappy
I don't,
facial hair.
I don't get up and bat my eyelashes at people.
You don't come up to them. Oh, hi,
Listen,
how you doing? Welcome to
listen.
AP Cigar Company.
Listen, right? I don't. Hey, do you need a hand job while you look at cigars? How can I help you today?
Yeah.
I don't bat my. Listen, people used to come in the pawn shop all the time, and all I'd ever hear is, "He's got such pretty." I got pretty eyes too. I just don't bat my eyelashes at you.
Yeah, I know. They'll sit there
and use my pretty eyes.
You know, I'm not an officer, and you're going to get out by flashing your eyebrows and anything else.
Right.
You know?
Unlike some people. Unlike some people at this table.
So anyway, we appreciate you coming on.
I enjoyed it, guys.
Leo, you're a true brother of the leaf. I love how much you take in. I love how much you share online. You know, for a guy who can't get out too much, I think you're, especially locally, you're one of the best cigar advocates around. So kudos to you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate all the love that you do for the shop and for the brand as well. It's kind of funny. I was like, he's gonna want to smoke a Table 36, so I wanted to get you something you hadn't had before. And since we've been doing so much with Lars,
I enjoyed it.
I thought it would be cool to smoke it, and we got to take a picture of Lars painting for him.
Yes.
So Lars is a hell of a cool dude.
And I mean, when I went to Alabama, I smoked a Table 36 on the sand there. I wasn't able to walk a lot like I used to. If you look at some of the pictures and you see my feet,
hey, listen, you brung it up. So he might have pretty eyes, but he's got straight up hobbit feet. So if you seen the Instagram, you know that.
Everybody thought they were your feet.
No, not at all. No, I got monkey feet.
Well, thanks guys for having me up here. I enjoyed it. If you ever need another guest, I talk a lot, I mumble a lot, but I'll be glad to sit in.
That's what the mics are for.
Yeah.
I mumble too. That's why I like the mics. Leo, you can come on anytime you want. I don't care if there's, if a Padron himself is sitting here, you're more than welcome to come on anytime.
I appreciate it.
So you just send me a message and say, hey, I want to come up Tuesday. Cool.
Okay.
Come on up. Actually, you don't even have to send a message. If I see you pull up, I know you're coming on.
All right.
Right.
So that's
the first time I saw it, I fell in love with it, you know, and you guys said that the worst cigar podcast.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. We are the worst cigar podcast. That's a moniker.
I enjoy it.
That's a
I
moniker
enjoy
we're proud
it,
of.
you know,
Yeah.
and I always think that I comment too much on everything.
Trademark pending.
Because
You do.
I do. And I'll
good for you, though.
Miguel Rodriguez from the Bakersfield Gentleman. I'm always like, sorry I commented so much, but nobody else was, and I just want
Right.
to,
Yeah.
they
Well,
talk about something
hey.
and it pops into my head, and I like, you know.
Yeah, that's how it should be. No, we appreciate the interaction. If there's more people like you, we could have more
93
and more.
subscribers.
Where are we at? 91?
92.
92. Awesome.
And, that's the last time I looked.
Yeah. So, we're going to do some fun stuff. I would like to come down. Maybe we'll do it at the Stone Castle one day.
That'd be cool.
Well, the audio will be like it was when we didn't have the mics.
Right,
Because I don't really want to take all this stuff down and take it all down there.
Yeah.
Right.
But, that it's intimate enough there that we could do something down
Yeah.
there. So.
And Chuck, you're always welcome to come down. I mean, it's just a garage turned into my,
Little Italy.
little.
I go from here to my house.
Well, I hear you. I mean, but our roads down there aren't good for your one wheel because they're
Actually, they're not bad at all.
the
they're the
gas.
same as
Well,
here.
Yeah, they're good. They're fine.
here.
oh, okay.
You can
I
ride
was
on
gonna say because the
anything.
gas company they're doing new gas lines and they're tearing everything up. We had a water main break last week and was
Jeez.
without water for half a day. But it's called progress.
Yeah.
Right.
We're building it back.
Build
Building it back better.
We're building it back better.
build back better.
Guys,
No.
thank you for watching the show.
Right on.
Leo, thanks again for coming, man. And then
I
next week,
appreciate it.
next
Chuck,
week
I
we have
appreciate
nobody
it.
planned.
Yep.
So
Nobody.
Yep.
Nobody.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe the cigar nerd will come back on.
There you go.
He loves being on here.
You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he likes being on here just so he can show everybody up.
And he'll have his
Second
GT.
guy.
So if the weather's
yeah,
nice,
probably.
Yeah, I'll probably be painting though. Anyway, thanks.
Yep.
Thank
See ya.
you guys. Have a good day.